Hey, my lovely Willow Vibes tribe members. I am Jessica from Willow Vines Intuitive Vibes, and I am here to do a collective message. So please like the videos, comment, share, and subscribe to join the tribe. But I really hope you do stick around because you guys are amazing. I've got so much just like flowing through my mind right now, like so much I could say, should say, or shouldn't say, whatever. And it's like, okay, I want to say like if there's like say there's a heated matter that you want to talk about, really think about it before you become reactive or whatever, because before I hit record I was going to come on here and do some share and I was just going to like, verbal diarrhea, a bunch of shit, because that's what I felt. But it's not about not like, okay, like when you don't say certain things, it's not about being restricted or feeling like you can't say this or that. Because I can say whatever the fuck I want, you know what I mean? It's about being smart with different things that you say, or just being mature. Because sometimes when we're in the heat of the moment and we're upset about this, that, or the other, we can say things that we'll later on regret, you know what I mean? So it's like, take some time to sit on the information, like no matter what it is. It could be somebody did something to piss you off and you're just gonna put their ass on blast immediately and then go, well, I think I overreacted, or maybe I shouldn't have said or done that. Why live with that regret when you can literally take just a little bit of time and go, yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth the involvement. It's not worth the drama. It's not worth the whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. Somebody was very quick to react in a situation is what I want to say. That's probably why this is coming up. And they might regret it, or somebody around them regrets it. But I'm not going to regret the words that I say because I always think things through. At least nowadays, That wasn't always the case my entire fucking life, I'm just going to say. But I made piss poor choices because in the heat of the moment it is what it is. But there are times when it's called for, when people are being cruel or disrespectful, like if it's not even disrespecting your authority or anything. It's along the lines of taking someone for granted. It's okay to oh my God, I can't talk. It's okay to stand up for yourself, to defend yourself. But don't be reactive in it. You know what I mean? Like, time and place, and sometimes if we let ourselves cool off a little bit, we come back with reason versus just heat of the moment. I don't know, because there's a lot I could say about a lot of different people and different situations in my life that probably would piss a lot of people off if they were in my fucking head. I'm just saying. And yeah, I do read minds. I pick up on energy. I know a lot that I don't even talk about half the time. Like, for fuck's sake, with my daughter, I knew she was pregnant a month ago, and actually she's 5 weeks pregnant. So I knew right about at the beginning, because Spirit was literally telling me. I remember the very first time I heard it, I was sitting in the bathroom, and I think it's because my daughter was in the bathroom, and I do psychometry, so she was sitting on a fucking shitter in my house, and I sat on the same fucking shitter right after her, and then all of a sudden, it was so random because I wasn't even like, I don't know. I would never have thought of that or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just was going to the bathroom. It wasn't like I was sitting there channeling. It wasn't my meditation time. It just happens. That's what happens to me. So the people around me sit on my shit, or I'm going to fucking feel your ass, apparently. But it's weird. I act like people too. Because I don't even bring my phone in half the time, like certain people in the house do. And I'll be sitting there just like empty-handed, like I'm holding my phone, watching something, and I'm just like, why am I doing this? Someone's on their phone. Yeah, someone on the fucking crapper was on their phone. I'm picking up on it. It's fucked up. I pick up on stupid shit. But anyways, I just remember the very first time, um, when that came to me, I went pee and I'm just sitting there, and then I stood up. It wasn't even when I was sitting down. I stood up and I looked in the mirror, and I was like, in my head, I heard Emma's pregnant. And I looked at myself like, what? No, no, no. And I literally did that. Like, no, And I heard yes, and I'm like, no. And then the feeling went away. But it popped up again a few days later, and it kept happening up until she told me. And I was like, motherfucker. I I knew it, but I ignored it. I knew it, but I ignored it, which is why I tell people to listen to themselves. And of course, here I am not doing that in certain circumstances, because it was way too close to home. And I was just like, no, that's not true. No, no, no. Well, I'm not going to second guess myself anymore. I don't give a shit what asinine thing pops in my head. If it feels right, if it keeps popping up, I'm gonna believe it, because I'm usually not wrong with stuff like that. It was crazy too, is I was watching this thing about the Long Island medium, and like her being her, I would say her cover being blown, but you know, her being unmasked as a phony baloney. And okay, so this is my perspective on the situation, is when she first started out, like that show and shit, I questioned it, but I was like, oh, it's entertaining. And I wasn't really, I don't know, I wasn't really doing many readings or anything, and I wasn't fully tapped in at the time. So it was kind of like interesting. It was interesting. I love shows like that, anyways, for entertainment purposes only. This is really fun. And that's the way I looked at it to begin with. But I was like, that would be so cool to be able to do that, like, fully, because I wasn't like really tapped into my gifts at the time. I didn't fucking understand shit. When I first saw that show, which I don't remember how many years ago that was, but it was a while ago. But anyways, you know, I'm just like, that'd be cool. You know, I didn't really look too much into her or what she was doing or anything like that. I just thought it was cool. And of course, I just saw a video that popped up about her being a phony baloney. And honestly, I think she is. I think she's a fraud. That's my personal opinion. I don't care what anybody else thinks. You know, if you don't think she's a fraud, then wonderful. But and the reason why, like, diving a little deeper into it, is I watched this video, and there's this dude who's very matter of fact, like, and he analyzes how people speak, you know, their sentence structures, mannerisms, body language, all that crap. He like combines it all together and can kind of give you a generalized depiction of another person, or something, or their intentions, because liars do act a certain way, and manipulators do too. And like, he picks up on those cues. Like, I don't know, this guy's really cool. I can't remember his name, but he's like, I've watched him analyze like psychopaths and shit like that before too. I don't know, he's really matter of fact. I don't know, it's kind of monotone when he talks, but it's just very to the point ultimately. And he was critiquing her, and it made a lot of sense. And it showed me, because I'm sitting here going, I'm a medium, I'm a psychic, I do this stuff. Like, I don't know, but I went into it with an open mind, because not everybody is legitimate, and that is the truth. And a lot of people do this shit for money. And I don't make jack shit doing this. I do it to help people, and it's not always about the mediumship messages or even the messages that come through fully with the cards. It's, I want to help guide people. I want you to understand your own abilities so that you can listen to your intuition and guide yourself through life. Messages are fun, and when spirit comes through, like our passed over loved ones, it's amazing. And I do not lie about that stuff. I take that totally seriously, because I don't even want to talk about it half the time, because it's such a touchy subject matter for people, you know, because I never know what part of the journey you're on. Spirit knows, and when it comes through, it comes through. But the example that I'm going to use here is in that video. Like, she would just probe and ask questions. And like if someone was like, oh yeah, that could be me in an audience, which I'm just gonna say for starters, me, with the way that I pick up on energies, I would never ever be on stage with a crowd of people picking energies out. It would overwhelm the mother F out of me. Like, I don't know, the energies would just be like, and I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't want to be honest. One on one can be difficult enough depending on who's coming through and what the fuck's going on. But a whole audience, thousands of people, fuck no. Um, I would never do that in the first place. Even if I got offered $1 million, I wouldn't do it. No, I wouldn't. Like, you don't fuck with people like that, in my opinion. But, anyways, regardless, like, say that you're gifted and you do something like that. Honestly, I feel like if you really are gifted, you probably wouldn't, because you would feel the same way. And you would understand that mediumship and psychic messages and stuff like that, it's a personal journey. It's not meant to be publicized like that. You know I do things publicly, like general readings, but I'm not like pointing you out. Do you know what I mean? Like, nobody knows who you are when you're receiving this message. If it resonates with you, it's totally different. I don't know, that's like putting people on display and putting them on the spot, and that's just not okay, in my opinion. I don't bring things up to people unless they want to know, unless they come to me. And even then, I can't always answer those questions because it depends on, who the fuck's around to answer said questions. But, she probes, she asks questions and tries to get confirmations. And yeah, I love confirmations. I love it when I get confirmations from people going, oh my gosh, that resonates with me and whatever. But this is different. Like, she would literally ask a question and wait for the approval. I don't do that. Like, in my readings, this is how I read. I don't know how to explain it. So I guess the best example here is the one time my mother wanted me to see if anyone was around her boyfriend. And this was before he got diagnosed with cancer and all that stuff. And he's doing really well. He's gonna make it on. He's gonna make it on the other side. I'm just gonna say, like, he's making it through it. He's doing amazing. And I always knew that it would work out because that's what I was told, and I trust in the process. And so far, that's happening. Like, he's doing good. And I love him so much. But regardless, he's very skeptical of mediums and spiritual messages and shit like that, and I knew that. So I was kind of like, when mom asked me, I'm just like, I was very hesitant because I didn't want to step on his toes, because if it's messages for him and he's not receptive to it, what's the fucking point? You know what I mean? But even though I was a little hesitant, I felt okay. So I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens here. And I remember I told her, I said, don't tell me anything, because I don't really talk to them that much. Like, it's often, I talk to my mom a lot, but I don't know, we don't really dive into details of stuff. And at this point, they didn't even know that he had cancer or anything. And it was just like perfect fucking timing. It was so crazy how it happened. And she just asked me, like, what do you see around him? And I don't know his family. I mean, I think I met his mom, and I met his brothers, but I don't even remember I remember one of his brothers' names, but I don't remember the other one. I don't know. It was like one fucking time. Seriously, it was. I really don't know his family. So, anyways, I remember, this is how I roll. This is how I guess the reading went. He was sitting there in front of me, my mom was sitting beside me, and I'm like, all right, I see someone who, it was fucked up, because I felt like a paternal but maternal connection. And I was like, and that's what I remember. I'm going, I don't know if I can do this. I was like, this is confusing. And Mom's like, what? And I was like, it feels paternal, but maternal, almost like I felt I was drawn to his father's side of the family, but I was also drawn to his mother's side. And I'm like, I feel like I'm going back and forth between Mom and Dad. And I didn't know this, but I was like, it's a woman, it's a female. But I want to say paternal, but then I want to go maternal. And like, that's how the message was coming in. And my mom's going, oh, I know who that is. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, wait a minute. And she told me, I was like, okay, you can tell me who you think this is, but that's all don't give me details, you know? And she's like, that's his grandmother on his father's side. So his father's mother or something, who was best friends with his mother. So, and she passed away, which I had no fucking clue. I had no clue about that. And this was before his mom passed. His mom passed relatively recently, and she is around him. She's right there with her BFF, just saying. But, anyways, I was like, what the fuck? And then I got that confirmation. I'm like, okay. And I was like, the one thing she wants to let you know is that she's around you. She, like, I felt, it's weird, because I felt like, I said, whoever this woman is, whether it's her or not, because that's how I roll with readings. Like, even if you give me confirmations, I'm just going to tell you what I feel and what I pick up. I'm not going to sit there and ask you and probe for questions, like probe for answers, you know, I don't do that. So, after she said that, I was like, okay, well, she's around, and she's checking up on him, making sure he's good. And, what was it? She said that she was his favorite. That's what I got. Like, you're my favorite. Like, I love you. Like, you're my favorite. And apparently this woman was like very, very close to him, and I didn't know that. And I was like, well, you know, there's a level of favoritism here. It's like, I don't play favorites, but you're my favorite, that type of energy. It was so cool. And I was like, okay. And then she told me, she goes, there's going to be a problem. And I said this to them. She goes, there's going to be a problem coming up, but don't worry, you will be okay. It's just going to be a journey. It's going to be a process, but you'll get through it. I'm right here with you, is what she said. She didn't tell me what it was. She didn't give me details. She just said it was going to be a long road to hoe, basically a long journey, but I'm right here with you, and you're going to be okay. And then a week later, he found out he had prostate cancer. Like, how fucked up is that, you know? And my mom was like, I keep holding on to what you said in the hope of that. And it's been working out, because she said it would, because she knew that he would be okay. Like, how fucking cool is that? I'm not like trying to like talk myself up, but those are true spiritual messages, you know, because the medium, which a medium is just a conduit. The conduit who's saying whatever they're saying, it's coming from whoever wants to deliver whatever message, and it's meant to make sense for that person. You know, it doesn't have to make sense to the medium, to the conduit. It just has to make sense to whoever the fuck needs to hear it. That's the importance of messages from spirit. And a lot of people are very skeptical of spiritual messages because there's so many fucking scammers out there. So many people who just want your fucking money, who want to take advantage of your vulnerability, you know? Because if you want to talk to a deceased loved one, you're in a vulnerable place. You miss them. You want to know if they're there. You want to grasp onto that, you know? And people who take advantage of other people in that way should rot in fucking hell. They really should. You know, because the majority of the messages that I deliver, I do channel messages and stuff, yes, are tarot. And I never wanted to dive into the mediumship side of things because of that. Because it can really hurt people if it's not taken seriously. You know what I mean? And I do take it seriously, which is why I was very hesitant on saying certain things, which is why I've been hesitant, which is why I don't always say every fucking thing that comes through, because it's not because I doubt my gifts. It's because I want to make sure that I'm saying what's in your best interest, you know? I know that I can't save everyone. I know that I can't protect everyone. I know that some people cry, some people get angry, some people don't always want to hear what Spirit has to say. But rest assured, the shit that I say ain't coming from me. It's not. Because sometimes I get shocked as shit when messages for myself or people that I love and care about, my kids and whatever, come out in my readings. And then I look back and go, that was for fucking me? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not every message and it's not all the time, but when it happens, like, Spirit will get through to me in any way that they can. And I rewatch all my readings, so, yeah. It's a good way to get a hold of me, just saying. I don't know. I just, for anyone who is, like, going, everyone's the fucking same, you know, they only care about themselves, it's about the bottom dollar, it's, you know, it's all a gimmick, it's all for show, it's not. So if any of your loved ones have ever come to me, through me, and spoke to you, know that it's real. Because I don't know who the fuck they are. I don't know what it's for. And if it's for you, you will know. You will. You will. You know? Personal readings are so much more personal, just saying. But I'm not promoting myself or asking for you to get a personal. It's hard for me to find time. And if you email me, I will, you know, we'll go from there kind of thing. But it's not about that. It's about use your discernment. Use your discernment with my readings. Use your discernment with anybody else's readings. And if you get a personal, you know, from anyone, doesn't matter who the fuck it's from, just make sure you're getting a reading from someone who is legitimate, you know, like who isn't scamming you. If anyone asks you questions, they're not legitimate. You know, I mean, if they want to know your birth date, whatever, you know, that's fine. But I don't even need to know your zodiac sign. I don't even need to know your birth date. You could send me a photo, or you could just send me an email. Your energy is in that email. Your intention. Your spirit team will let me know. And if I'm legitimate, I'll be able to do a reading for you, you know? I do readings in many different ways, and a lot of different readers do. But the people that are like, oh, I need to know your first name and your birthday and your zodiac sign and whatever. If they know your birthday, then they should figure out your zodiac sign, just saying. But regardless, if they have to have all that, you know what they're doing? They're trying to figure out, okay, for example, you're a Virgo. I know how Virgos roll. So I'm going to base my reading off from that type of personality. Do you know what I mean? And if they have your birthday and more information, they might be able to pinpoint a little bit more information about you. It's not every reader does that when they ask that stuff, but I don't know. I feel like there's so many people that just they don't understand. I don't know why I want to say this. Like, I want to preach the fuck out of this for some reason. Because I do not know. I don't need to know a motherfucking thing about you. You could literally not even tell me your real name and just send me, like, your screen name, your fucking email. You know what I mean? Like, speaker plus one. You know, like, who the fuck is that? I will pick up the energy if it's intended to be picked up. No matter what your fucking name is. No matter if you're a man, a woman, whatever, you know? People who ask too many questions are problematic when it comes to messages. And I feel like somebody really needs to know that. That's why, like, if you want a personal from me, I will say include any questions, like if you want me to zero in, like you want to know about a specific person or my love life, my career, you know, whatever your question is. But I do get a lot of people who are just like general, you know, whatever comes up, comes up. And I love those ones because whatever comes up is supposed to come up and I don't have to ask a motherfucking thing. You know what I mean? And that's not even me asking. It's just it's a level of direction. It's nice to have a focus, especially if you have one, but if you don't, whatever comes out, you know? And I have honestly never been disappointed and I've never had a bad review. From anyone that's gotten a personal from me, they have come back with confirmations, which is so fucking awesome. Even if it wasn't like the next day, it was just like, oh my god, you said this and it happened, or it didn't make sense before and then it did 3 months later. Like, I love that. It's so cool. I don't need it. It's just it's really it's reassuring and it's awesome when that happens. Um, I don't know. Just trust whoever you're talking to is the point here. Because I can tell you right now, I will never be a Hollywood medium. I would never be on stage. I would never do it that way because that's not how it's supposed to be, for one. Like I said, it's a very personal experience. Um, and I do pick up on some fucked up shit, just saying. But when it's one-on-one, it's supposed to be one-on-one. And I can reassure you that your loved ones are not going to show up on stage for somebody. Because how awkward is that, you know? That's all for show. That's just all for show. It's fun to watch, but it's all for show. I don't know. I just protect yourselves. Take care of you. Protect yourself. Because not everybody has your best interest at heart, whether they're a fucking medium or not. There's a lot of people out there, even if they're not scamming you, they might be trying to one-up you, get the best of you, you know? Use your better judgment, use your discernment. If you even get an off feeling, you know, don't. Just don't do it. Don't invest, don't say it, don't whatever. Like, you know, like say you really want a personal reading, just for example. You're like, oh my god, I would love to talk to so-and-so on the other side or know this or whatever. And you have your like favorite reader on YouTube, whether it's me or anyone else. And even if it is me, we'll use me as an example. You're like, okay, I want to know this. I'm going to get a reading from Jessica. And then all of a sudden you get this pit in your stomach and you're just kind of like, should I? I don't think I should. But I really love her, so okay, I'm gonna. You probably shouldn't. If you get that feeling where you're just like, it's not gonna work out. Maybe we're not gonna connect. Maybe it's not gonna work out, or maybe there's something I'm gonna say that you shouldn't know right now. You know what I mean? Like whatever the reason is, you have that feeling for a reason. You know, no matter who it's about. Listen to you above anyone else. That's my best advice in any given situation, is listen to yourself. Because I feel like there's someone out there who's going to a fucking reader who is full of shit. Who is full of shit. It might make sense because this person knows your fucking life. They know you personally, or they know someone that knows you. There's a connection there. Or they asked too many goddamn questions and they figured it out, like a cold read. Someone's dealing with that. Just be warned, be aware. Someone's getting readings from a phony baloney. But they're believing it because this person knows something about them. And it's not fucking spirit. It's not spirit. And I feel like whoever's getting that reading or those readings, because it feels like more than one from the same person, that person, that client knows that it's not legitimate. But it's almost like, wait a minute, like how would you know that? Because this person knows shit about you. I don't know, something like that is going on for someone, which is why I'm preaching this. Yeah, there's a level of control here. Could be mutual friends. Whoever the fuck is doing a reading on somebody knows someone you're connected to, knows someone you know. They're getting intel. Yeah, they're getting intel. Someone's telling them something. And that's how they know. This would be like, I don't know if it's in person, it's someone you know. Like, this isn't a stranger. This isn't just a YouTube reader. This is like someone you know. Like, oh, I know a reader, and I've gotten readings from so and so. Yeah, that person knows people that you know, or they did their research. They figured something out. Someone that you moved away from, so they might know your ex, or people that you used to associate with. It's time to move away from whoever the fuck that is, because somebody is giving somebody false information to feed somebody else's agenda. Higher self, fertility, and creativity. Conjurer. Listen to your fucking self. You know more than whoever that is does. I'm just saying. Seriously. Movement, quick decisions, progress. Yeah, move away from whoever the hell that is. Yeah, somebody is talking to a phone of baloney. That's really what that feels like. That's not for everyone. But it would be somebody that, I don't know, somebody that either knows someone you know, or you know this person directly. This isn't an online thing. And if it is online, it's someone you fucking know. I don't know. Like, it's weird. It's not online. It's not online. It's not online. It might be through your device, like calling, texting, or going to see this person face to face. It's not a YouTube thing. It's not even a Facebook thing. Somebody's full of shit. Just listen to yourself. I don't know. I just keep wanting to say it. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. I'm going to pull you one of these sacred symbols, and then I'm going to go, because I know this was more of like a share. Not really. It wasn't a share, because this is not for me. No. Someone's going to get really pissed when they find out who's been fucking with them. And it's so wrong. It's so fucking wrong. Like, don't take advantage of people, especially when they're in weak places, but don't take advantage of people, period. Yeah, somebody broke your fucking trust. Trust showed up reversed. You can't trust this person, whoever it is. Some release that you haven't let go of, because that's not being released. There's trust issues here for sure, but I feel like there's someone here that you shouldn't trust. Don't ask them for advice. Don't talk to them. Don't trust them. Shadow. And this is not insecurities coming out like, oh, I have trust issues. Maybe this person does have trust issues. Maybe you do. And it's like, well, like, I'm trying to have faith. I'm trying to be more open. Fucking A. That makes me mad too. Somebody's trying to be more open and receptive to things. And trust in the process. And you know what I mean? And somebody's taking advantage of that. They're taking advantage of this person's willingness to be open. Fuck you. Like, who the fuck does that, Like, oh, I need to be more open-minded and go with the flow, and I need to trust the process with somebody that you shouldn't. This is the person that needs to sit on the big fucking dick and rotate. You know what I mean? I don't know. This person sucks ass. They're a fucking cocksucker. And not a very good one. They drag their teeth the whole way. You know what I mean? Just saying. Yeah, you're being guided away from whoever the hell that is. And it's not a sexual thing, it's just someone sucks at life. And that person will get karma, trust me. Whoever is taking advantage of another person, especially if you're quote unquote spiritual, if you're a fucking medium or a psychic, and you're supposed to guide people and help them and give them information and for their highest good. That's what you're supposed to do, and you're taking advantage of people like that. Like in those vulnerable places, like you're not doing what you're supposed to. Trust me, you will be fucked up the ass by spirit and you're gonna hate life. That's what will happen to anyone who's doing that, and you might get called out publicly, not necessarily, but your life will suck eventually. Because you know what the I don't know, the best punishment is for people a lot of the times is to bring your ass way up here so that you fall a lot harder. Success gone. You know, that type of shit happens. And to anyone who's taking advantage of anyone in a vulnerable place like that and leading them astray because they want fucking money or they want to take advantage of someone, you deserve every fucking thorn up your ass. You know what I mean? That's what I have for you. Use your discernment. Listen to yourself. Even if you feel like, why do I feel this way? It doesn't make sense. Trust it. Because it will make sense. And it's better to listen to yourself now than regret it later. You know what I mean? Love you guys. Peace.